Hi, I'm Matt with ApplianceVideo.com. Today we're going to be looking at the electronic control on this Whirlpool freestanding ice maker. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for proper voltage. You will need the following tools before you begin this repair: a flathead screwdriver, a 1/4-inch nut driver, and a Phillips screwdriver. A defective electronic control can cause numerous issues. It can throw out phantom error codes indicating that there's a problem when there isn't an actual problem with the components. Basically, the control board could get confused. And it can also not send power to specific components. If a component's not running and you're not getting power to the component, then you'd be looking at your electronic control. There's relays built into it. It's also basically the brains of the unit, so it takes all the input from the keypad. A defective electronic control can also cause the unit to be completely dead and unresponsive. To begin this repair, we must gain access to the interior components of the unit. Now we've removed the ice bin door just for video purposes, but the next step we're going to take here is removing the 2 1/4-inch screws for the cutting grid cover. Then you can just go ahead and grab the cover and pull it off. To remove the cutting grid, we're going to first disconnect the Molex connector here. And then we're going to remove the 2 1/4-inch screws that are holding the bracket in place. Now with the screws removed, you can just go ahead and slide the grid right out. Just want to be careful that you're not going to catch on your bin thermostat wiring that's on the side of the cabinet here. Once your cutting grid is removed, you can now drop down the control panel assembly. First thing we're going to do is disconnect our 2 Molex connectors, one for your bin thermistor and the one for your evaporator thermistor. And now we've got 4 1/4-inch screws that we're going to remove to drop the control panel down. Once the 4 screws are removed, you want to make sure you're holding on to the control panel assembly because the transformer is very heavy. There's a lot of weight here, more than you would think. And you can kind of just roll this down. That gives you access to all your components inside. You got your main control board and your transformer, your light switch, and your overlay. To remove the main control assembly, we're going to begin by disconnecting all the Molex harnesses. And remove the harness for your touchpad. Once all of your harnesses are removed, you just have 2 screws holding the board in place, and they're both Phillips. Just going to take a stubby screwdriver. Remove your 2 screws. Lift the board right up and out. Now we've got our new main control board. Let's go ahead and install it. And you just want to make sure that this connector stays underneath. The harness runs on the underside of the board. Go ahead and drop the board in place. Got 2 little notches, one on each corner opposite of the mounting screws. Once you have the board set in place, you can go ahead and reinstall your 2 Phillips screws. Once your screws are installed, go ahead and reconnect all your harnesses. Okay, just go through, double check, make sure everything's locked in place. Now we're ready to reinstall the console. Next, we'll reinstall the cutting grid. Gonna basically put it up in the track. You wanna just be careful of your bin thermistor harness and the evaporator thermistor harness. You wanna make sure that it's not gonna catch on either of those. Slide it up in there. And we can go ahead and install the connector. And we're gonna go ahead and put our 2 1/4-inch screws in on each side. Now we can go ahead and reinstall the grid cutter cover. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our cutting grid cover. Just want to make sure that your wire here doesn't get pinched. And that will complete the repair on the Whirlpool freestanding ice maker. Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.